Alrighty, so last week I put up a blog post about using trekking poles, and so when you're out hiking, for anyone that doesn't know, they're a pole that you can extend to a certain length and use them as you hike along. You can use them in the flatland too if you so desire. I've actually had a few patients that were in the past that needed them just to get out and go on walks on their driveway or out in the community, but they're primarily for used up in the mountains to assist you in your hiking. And we did a blog post last week about that, and so I just wanted to kind of follow up on that blog post. If you're seeing this video for the first time, the blog post is down in the links below. So what I want to go over today is just a quick setup and adjustment of your trekking poles and how that you can use them to make your hiking more effective. All right, so when you go to set up your trekking pole, a lot depends on what your purpose is or what you're doing with your hiking. So you can use the trekking pole as both a way of balancing, offloading the stresses placed onto your joints, especially the hips, knees, and ankles. And then also one of the things I love the most about trekking poles is they add to my propulsion or getting me a little bit more speed in my hiking. And so kind of depending on what your purpose is or your hiking surfaces, you may want to adjust your poles a little bit different. The biggest key is getting a good position in your elbow. You don't want too much bend. You don't want it too straight. You kind of want it about in the middle. So if you bring your elbow to 90 degrees, so that's straight at your side, and then actually you want to bend it down just a hair, maybe 10 or 15 degrees off of 90, and set your pole at that level. So some poles have a quick release that you can use, but most of them have this little spin lock on them. And so I've actually, over the years, I've gotten to where I kind of locked out and figured out what height I like my poles at. And so because of that, you can actually see where it is grooved out to where I typically use my trekking pole. So actually got that on the wrong height. So for me, if I were to just kind of get into my pole here, you can see that my arm naturally goes right into that position. And I'll try and angle the camera so you can see my feet a little bit better. Now, when you're hiking along, if you want to get some propulsion, when you plant your pole, you actually want it just off of your heel, out to the side a little bit and behind, and that way you can get a nice, strong little push off with your arm as you're hiking along. And so that's more of the propulsion. This is my setup. My general setup is so elbow below 90 degrees with it at the just below and behind my heel. Now, let's say you're hiking along, you come to a nice long stretch where you're going downhill and there's some big drop offs, you may want to actually extend your pole out a little bit. And what that allows you to do is now that I've got a longer pole, you change your grip from your typical grip to now you can actually kind of grip on top of your pole. And there's actually some trekking poles that have a little cork ball on top that you can kind of just latch onto, but I'll often just grab onto the pole in this fashion, and that way I can step it down below me and give me a nice way to kind of cushion my landing using my arms to help offset some of that weight. And then, I mean, a lot of this comes down to feel. You kind of have to fill out what's comfortable for you, and over 3 or 4 good hikes, spending a couple hours adjusting poles up and down, you can figure out what really works for you. The last piece of advice that I would give is make sure to use your wrist strap. What this does, instead of using the muscles and ligaments in your hand to control the pole, now when you put your hand in and then you go in and lock around the strap, that strap becomes a ligament, an extra ligament, if you will, in your wrist, and can really offload the pressures um, in your hand and wrist, and can also give you some good dampening uh, through your hands as well. So those are a few pointers on using a trekking pole. I know a lot of people think they're nerdy. I did too. I used to make fun of my brother-in-law a bunch because he would hike around with them. I thought they were really kind of dumb until I started getting knee and hip pain myself. Started using trekking poles, and they are a game changer for me in hiking for so many reasons, as you read in the blog. If you do have any questions on these, please contact me. You can come into the clinic if you're just getting into a set for the first time, or if you've had them and they just didn't quite work out for you. Come in and talk to me. I'm more than happy to chat with you about getting them set up just right for you, and we can even practice using them and some different strategies. So hope you enjoyed this video, and we will see you out on the trail.